So, good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to the AlgoBulls Quant Quest pre-event webinar. I'm Pushpak, CEO of AlgoBulls, and I'm thrilled to have all of you with us today. We have an exciting journey ahead, and this webinar is just the beginning. First and foremost, I want to express our gratitude for your participation and interest in the Quant Quest competition. Whether you are an experienced trader or someone stepping for the first time into the world of algorithmic trading, you have come to the right place. Before we dive into the details, let me tell you a bit about why we are so enthusiastic about Quest. So Quest is not just a competition, it's much more. It's a unique opportunity for you to learn and test your trading skills, learn from the experts, and grow in the world of algorithmic trading. Over the next few days, you'll discover the power of algorithmic trading, which is rapidly transforming the way people invest and trade in the financial markets. At AlgoBulls, we are dedicated to making the world of trading accessible to everyone, and Quest is an embodiment of that commitment. This event is designed to help you understand and apply algorithmic trading strategies, compete with your fellow traders, and unlock your full trading potential. But it's not just a competition, it's about building a community of like minded individuals as well, who all share a passion for trading and technology. This is a journey where you will learn, grow, and connect with your fellow traders in our Slack community, which is called as the Algo Trading Ninjas. It's an exclusive space where you can continue your trading education long after Conquest concludes. So today, we'll walk you through the details of Conquest, give you insights into our platform, and discuss the rules of the competition. We'll also hear from some fantastic guest speakers who have joined us specially from New York, and they will share their wisdom on algorithmic trading with us today. At the end of the webinar, we'll have a Q&A session to answer all your doubts and questions. We are confident that by the end of this webinar, you'll feel prepared to embark on this thrilling journey. Once again, welcome everyone to the Quant Quest pre-event webinar. Let's make most of this opportunity. Let's learn together and have an incredible experience. Now, let's dive into the world of algorithmic trading. So what exactly is algorithmic trading? And why is it so important in today's financial markets? So algorithmic trading, or sometimes people also call it as algo trading, is a method of executing orders using automated and pre-programmed trading instructions. And it's not just about automation, it's also about precision. These algorithms can analyze massive amount of data and execute trades in the live markets in a matter of milliseconds. It's the closest thing you have to a trading superpower. Algorithmic trading has opened up opportunities for traders of all types. It can be used for day trading, swing trading, or even long-term investing. These algorithms can be designed to follow a wide range of strategies, from simple moving average crossovers to very complex machine learning models. And here is the beauty of algo trading. It's based on rules and not emotions. Emotions of either fear or greed. The decisions are based on predefined criteria and not these emotions. It also removes human error and ensures consistent execution of strategies. Of course, remember, the strategies are only as good as the person who creates it, but these systems help you drive it with precision. In India, there are more than 100 million or more than 10 crore demat account holders. A demat account is something like your bank account, but that is required for you to do trades. So if you have a bank account, you can do banking related transactions, right? So similarly, if you have a demat account in India, you can do trading. So in India, there are more than 100 million such holders. This number has more than doubled in the last 2.5 years since the COVID-19, and it's still growing. And today, more than 50% of the total volume on the Indian exchanges are coming through algorithms and not manual trading. And this number is only bound to go up. In the US, you'll be surprised to know the number. This number is more than 80%. That's a very huge number given the market of US is much bigger. Now just imagine what you can achieve if you understand at least the basics of algorithmic trading during your initial college days. And if this field interests you, it can add tremendous value to your career. So in QuantQuest, you'll have the opportunity to harness the power of algo trading to develop, test, and implement trading strategies from scratch. AlgoBulls platform will provide you with various tools, data, and resources to help you create your trading algorithms easily and compete effectively. As you explore the platform, you'll find it's designed to make algo trading accessible to traders of all levels. Even if you're new to algorithmic trading, do not worry. You can choose to code your own strategies or use the ready-made templates. The end goal here is to empower you with the tools and knowledge to succeed in this competition and then beyond for your career. Now that we have taken a look at what algorithmic trading is and we have understood its intricacies, it's time to gain more insights from our two distinguished speakers. These experts have a wealth of experience in the world of algorithmic trading, and they're here to share the knowledge with us. Let me introduce to you our first speaker, which is Mr. Hariom. So Mr. Hariom has joined us from New York today, despite having a busy schedule. And remember, guys, it's early morning for them, so they have taken out their valuable, productive daytime for you guys. So I would like to introduce Hariom. Thank you so much, Hariom. Hariom is a VP at a big investment bank in New York. He's also a IIT alumnus. He's also an author of a machine learning book. Hariom, over to you.
Hi, everyone. I was in the initial introduction that Pushpak just gave. So talking about me, as Pushpak introduced, I'm VP at Barclays in New York, also authored a book called Machine Learning Data Science Blueprints for Finance. I've known Pushpak since last 1 year or so. We have been connected and we have been brainstorming about AlgoBulls, where to take it forward and also make it like impactful, make it global. So yeah, I mean, there have been many fruitful, engaging, interesting discussion that I had with him, and I'm expecting that this the entire session will be pretty useful and fruitful to you guys. So what I'm going to cover is I'm just going to cover very high level basic stuff, something that I used to ponder over when I was in college, like you guys, about where to start. What is algo trading? Is it profitable? What are the different strategies we can use? What are the different challenges? How to go about learning it? How much money I can make? What are the companies that I can join? So these are the things that people ponder over when they are students. And also, I mean, these days, given there are a lot of resources like AlgoBulls and open source stuff, things have changed. Things have changed significantly. And that's what I will be covering on a high level. I have like 15 to 20 minutes, so I'll try to wrap up things in 10 minutes, and then you guys can ask questions in next 5 to 10 minutes. So yeah, so this slide just gives you a high level of what I'll be covering. I think I already spoke about that. Why we use algo trading, does it even work? What are the different strategies? What are the challenges and how to go about learning it? Maybe we can move to the next slide. Perfect, yeah. So the first question is it something which is profitable, or is it just like monkey throwing the dart, some random number which is getting generated, or it's just very, very random, you can't make money out of it? So I'm not sure, some of you guys might have read this book, Man Who Solved the Market. It is a story about a guy called Jim Simon, who had a fund called or a company called Renaissance Technologies, fund called Rebellion, a fund. And what it has done is it has made 62% annualized return in the last 20, 30 years. If you see the chart on the right-hand side, it's been growing up. That's the cumulative return, right? So even during the COVID period, during the subprime crisis, it made money. The point I'm trying to make out of this slide is that, yes, you can make money out of it, but of course it requires a lot of knowledge, a lot of insights into market, a lot of maths, and a lot of machine learning programming these days, right? So if they have done, it's not something it can't be done, but the only point is that it's really tough. There are people and there are companies and there are funds which have made losses, but it is profitable, which is being shown by Jim Simon and his team. And I encourage you guys to read this book in case you guys want to be more motivated and enthusiastic about algorithmic trading. Next slide, please. Perfect. So now coming to the challenges, what are the challenges when you want to start algorithmic trading? And let's say you go out of the college and you want to do algo trading on your own, you can always make a brokerage account and all that. But when you're doing it at organization level, there are a lot of hiccups, a lot of roadblocks. And there's a company called Numerai, which mentions the tagline of this company says that it's hardest data science problem in the world. And you guys being IITian, I guess, uh, this is something challenging and definitely uh, something that you can uh, be a part of, or you should try doing, given it's one of the most difficult thing in the world. So we have issues related to infrastructure, where to get or what, let's say, programming packages to use, what are the tools we should be using. The second most important thing is data, where to get the data from, the different kinds of data, the different frequencies of data. The data comes with its own problem about noise and uh, the incorrect data and all that. So how to get the clean data. So that's a world in itself altogether. And how to generate ideas. That's the most important thing, right? So a lot of people, they think about, they look at the stock prices and say, hey, this company is doing good, it might go up, so let's buy stock of that, right? So that's the most simplest example of idea generation. But when you step into algorithmic trading, it becomes very, very complicated. And there are multiple ways of finding signals, generating ideas, using math, statistics, having hypothesis testing and things like that to prove that, hey, this is a signal which might be profitable and it might make money for me. So these are a couple of challenges which people face, not just the organization, but even if you're doing it at individual level. You might have to decide where to get the data from, which brokerage broker should I register for, what tools should I use, and most importantly, what are the ideas. And I guess AlgoBulls on a high level, they are simplifying this, making all these three steps pretty seamless for the hedge funds, for the organizations, even for the algo traders. And these are the three things which, if you want to get into algo trading, which you guys should focus on. Okay, so algo trading, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's growing significantly. People have realized the importance of this. Uh, Most of the hedge funds, even in the US, they have 60% of the trading volume, mostly by quant investing. By quant investing, I mean programming, analytics, and data science. Pretty much what we do, most of us do when we get out of our college, being being engineers, right? So that's the core of quant investing. And if you look at the yellow chart below, the number of quant funds, the volume of the quant trading, number of people who are there in the quant funds has been increasing significantly after 2010. People have realized the importance, uh, and it's not going to stop there. It's going to grow even more with all these AI, generative AI, and automated stuff. It's going to grow. The demand is going to grow, and so will be the trading volume. So it's a good time for everybody to step in and look into it. So if we talk about strategies, just doing some more deep dive, going deeper into different kinds of advantages, right? So the advantages, I mean, those are obvious. It's faster. If you're trading manually, there's a limited number of trade you can buy and sell. If you're doing algo trading, then you can do billions and billions of trades in a day if you're, let's say, doing high frequency and things like that, right? So, and also you can automate it. You can just start an algorithm, forget about it, and let it do things on its own. Of course, you need to manage the risk and everything, but you need to, and you can just do it in an automated manner. So there can be a system which is generating money for you. Not always, but yeah, I mean, which is automated and not requires low maintenance. It also has less human bias because in case you're reading news and then you're having your own interpretability of the news on a daily basis, purchasing stocks and all that, and there's more prone to human bias when you're applying quant trading. You're applying all these maths and tools, right? Hypothesis testing and all. So unless and until you don't have a hypothesis coming out of the data, you don't enter into into that trade. So it eliminates all the biases that we have and makes it slightly better. And there are a lot of people who think that this is not ethical, this is not good, or they're not motivated by it. So it adds to the market efficiency, because the more number of trades which are placed in the market becomes more efficient. So in case you have that lack of motivation, that what am I doing when I'm doing algo trading, you're adding to the efficiency of the market. So in terms of strategies, there are multiple strategies. Momentum, mean reversion, slightly technical for somebody who's in college. But yeah, I mean, generally the overall idea is that you have some ideology. And what are the ideology? That momentum, which means price, if it is going up, it will continue going up. Mean reversion is at some point of time, it will revert to the mean. So I'll place my bets accordingly. Then there are sentiments where you have, you read the news, convert it into sentiments, use AI and machine learning, get a sentiment score on a scale of, let's say, -10 to 10. If the sentiment is positive, you buy, otherwise you sell. And there are much deeper, detailed version of these kind of strategies. And these are pretty interesting. These require a lot of quantitative knowledge and statistical skills, and even programming skills to even generate the ideas and implement it. One of the most interesting stuff when it comes to the work which is done in the hedge funds and the financial institutions of the world. So how to learn, given that you guys are from college, just like, let's say, in second, third, fourth year of the colleges, of the college, I mean, how to go about learning it. So the basic stuff is what you should focus on, which is the last point here, or the bottommost point, finance, programming, stats. That is where you start from. There are different places, open source stuff, statistics, again, a lot of books. I mean, you can figure those out on your own, not going into detail. And also understanding the markets, finance, reading the news. And that's important to generate the ideas. You can learn programming and stats, but in case you don't have the right idea, you don't find the right signal, might not be very useful. So that's also important. Then the next step is strategy ideation. So once you have the basic knowledge, you understand what are the ideas that have worked in the past by reading papers and how to code them. Then there's something called backtest, which is your idea, how it works in the historical data, whether historically my data is or my algorithm is making sense and making money or not. Then you take a broker and you do paper trade. It's like simulated market, not actual money. And you buy and sell. And that's what is the next step. Then maybe some of you join hedge funds, some of you might join financial institutions, or some of you might do algo trading on your own, setting a system on your machine at home. And that's where is the next step, where you live trade, get the sense of how it is like over time, train your brain accordingly. And final step is what our friend Pushpak here is doing. They become a thought leader, create infrastructure, package, and products, not for themselves, but for the entire community, and aim bigger as he's doing. I mean, trying to build a entire operating system of algorithmic trading for the entire globe as such, not just India. And also you can trade for yourself. While you're trading for yourself, you come also, you see open source stuff, you contribute to them. If you're not a part of organization, even then there are a lot of ways to contribute. I guess one of the ways would be to contribute to the open source. AlgoBulls has some open source packages and stuff. Even I have some of them. So that's where you can contribute. And that would be like the highest level of learning. That's where you will get when you'll work on the live stuff. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is kind of lucrative slide. Everybody is concerned about how much salary I'll have, how much money I'll be making. So yeah, I mean, in the US, it's pretty good. But getting into all these hedge funds is tough, not that easy. More than 100K USD is something you can make pretty easily, even as a starting point. But what are the skill sets you need? I mean, depending on what's your interest, what your interest is, you can be a programmer that goes into different roles like quant developer, software engineer, algo trader, and there are different versions of these. Then if you are good in maths and quant, you can be quantitative analyst, data scientist, researcher. And being a quantitative analyst doesn't mean that you don't have to do programming. You have to be good at programming, and you have to be good at multiple skill sets. Then if you are good at financial markets or good at idea generation, then you can be a trader, portfolio manager, or risk manager. I mean, these things require less of programming, more of idea generation, talking to clients, and things like that. Then these days, there's a lot of demand for AI and machine learning expertise, with machine learning engineer and AI researcher being like the roles, and these pay quite a lot currently, especially with this generative AI coming up. People are still figuring out how to leverage generating a generative AI in the best possible manner. But yeah, I mean, these things, the last one is something which is pretty hot these days. And having said that, I mean, you need the combination of all these three or four in case you want to get into, let's say, hedge fund, or even if you want to start something on your own. Okay, so just to motivate you guys, the left-hand side is typical trading floor you might have seen in the movies. A lot of people shouting and uh, yelling about different prices, buy and sell. And this was UBS trading floor, 2008, pre-subprime crisis. A lot of people, a lot of desks, a lot of noise. But cut to 2016, which is on the right-hand side of the first chart, hardly many people. Completely changed to algo trading. Very less number of people, mostly algorithm servers and all. And with AI and generative AI coming up, who knows, in future, everything will be completely automated in servers that you see on the right-hand side. So yeah, I mean, that gives you the importance of algorithmic trading in financial market, or like across in general. Yeah, so I think that's overall, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover, very high level, just to give you a flavor of what it is like when it comes to algorithmic trading. About me, this is the book that I wrote with a couple of my friends, Machine Learning, Data Science, and Blueprints for Finance. Then you guys can contact me. I'm generally responsive of LinkedIn. There are a couple of open source projects that I'm coming up with. Also collaborating with Pushpak on algo trading. We are planning to also maybe think about looking at US market and how it works here. And happy to take your contributions. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hey, thank you so much, Hariom, for this insightful presentation. I guess it covers everything from the start to end, which students would be interested in. And once again, we really appreciate you bringing out your valuable time, given it's daytime for you in New York. So I have quick questions for you in the chat box ready. There are not many, uh, but it's a bit extended version of a question from a guy called as Adit. So I'll put it across in two steps. So the first part is, could you suggest some good reading materials for absolute beginners in the field of quantitative finance?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, there are, so generally, I mean, when I started with like interview books. There are a couple of interview books. I guess there's one by Mark Joshi. So what that does, that gives you flavor of what all things you want to uh, just like high level overview of what all things you want to go through, right? So you can look at the questions of those interview books and then find out the related uh, books, and in case you want to go deeper into it. So there's one book by Mark Joshi. That's what I remember. It's been a long time for me when I was preparing, so I might not remember most of the books. There are a couple of good books by Paul Wilmot. That's there in case you're interested in, let's say, algorithmic trading. There is uh, there are there's one good book by Marco De Prado, which is machine learning in trading. Then there are few by I forgot the name of that guy, but there's a book called How to Create Algorithm Using Mean Reversion and Momentum Strategy. That's something really good. You can note it down. So yeah, I mean, these are the books I can remember. But yeah, I mean, taking a step back, it's not difficult to find some good books. You can always, these days, you can just check on ChatGPT and find out some of the good books, right? But I mean, my approach had always been figuring out what I need to do. There are different areas of quants whether it's algo trading or whether it's derivative pricing. Go to the interview books, find out the questions, and then try to figure out the detailed answer from the books I can find from people.
Thanks, Hariom. That's quite a comprehensive answer to the question. Uh, the next follow-up question by Adit, again, it's an extended question, a big question. He's asking if a list of quant finance projects that could look great on the resume and they could learn from, can you provide such a list? And from beginner to advanced with a roadmap for them. So it's a big question. Adit
You
wants
can
to be algo trader right away.
you can do it better than me, Pushpak. You have like
Sure.
a lot of
Okay.
open source project, right? So I mean, yeah, I'll just give you a high level summary, right? So these days, as I said, there are a lot of open source stuff available. I guess even AlgoBulls has something called algo trading. You can contribute to something like that, something similar in case you want to do projects, depending on what area you want to go for. Even in algo trading, you have momentum and AI these days. So you can pick, let's say, one AI-based model to predict some price of a given stock with using like as a function of multiple other factors, use machine learning models and use it to generate a strategy. And that's the most basic stuff people do. That can be the starting point. But yeah, I mean, there are multiple similar projects open source these days that you can refer to. And I guess Pushpak will give you more details and more in-depth analysis and details about such stuff. So I'll leave it with them.
Yes, Hariom. There's a question from Tanmay. How does algorithmic trading deal with unexpected events or black swan events that are not accounted for in the algorithms?
Yeah, and that's something we have to be very careful about. Like that's a $1 million question. People actually do a lot of risk monitoring and all that. So they just not only build algorithms, there are a lot of other tools and other approaches of managing the risk. So there are things like risk limits. In case, let's say, your loss becomes more than 20-30%, then you have to square off the trade, stop the trade, and things like that. So there are multiple ways of looking into it. Even while modeling, when you're creating a strategy, you have to account for all these kind of black swan events and make sure that your strategy is foolproof. In case you're writing the code, you have to be very careful that you're not putting like million in place of billion or vice versa. So everything has to be very checked pretty well. And that's why there's a big risk management team as well in all these hedge funds, which just looks at the risk monitoring. They talk to the traders on a very frequent basis and challenge them in case there's something which is very risky. So yeah, these are the ways to handle it.
Okay. Hey, I hope I'm audible now, Rishabh.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Hariom, thanks. I think these were the final set of questions.
Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, I'll go then. It was
Yes.
a really good time and appreciate inviting me.
Thank you so much, Hariom. Thank you so much for your
Yeah.
valuable time.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys. So I hope you had a great insightful session with Mr. Hariom. Now, quickly, without wasting any more time, it's time for our second speaker here, who is Mr. Ravi. Mr. Ravi Chandra is again joining us from New York, and even he has some commitments which he has stretched out for us. He's given out his valuable time. So thank you so much, Ravi. Really appreciate you giving out your valuable, precious time to all the students here. Quickly, before I hand over the mic to Ravi, I would like to introduce him. He is the ex-chief operating officer of a large team at Tower Research Capital, New York. He has more than 17 years of experience. He's a senior algo trader, and he's also a pass out from IIT Madras. So over to you, Ravi. Please get started.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Pushpak, and the AlgoBulls team for inviting me to share a few thoughts at Quant Quest IIT Kanpur. This actually just going through the slide deck and listening to Hariom speak and everything takes me back to my college days. Very exciting. So as mentioned by Pushpak earlier, I have been in algorithmic high frequency trading for the past 17 years, ever since I graduated from IIT Madras. As an algo trader, I design and built high frequency strategies across multiple asset classes. And usually the algorithms that I or my team had deployed used to rank at least in the top 5 in terms of trading volumes on a given exchange. So that could mean anywhere from as low as 5% of the trading volume, or sometimes it was even as high as 30 to 40% of the trading volume in that particular instrument on the exchange. So as Hariom also touched briefly, the primary skills to succeed in algo trading are data science and programming. And even though these technical skills are extremely important, I have witnessed firsthand that there were teams, there were companies with the best technical minds, but somehow that wasn't alone sufficient for success in this field. And it actually motivated me to get an executive MBA from Columbia Business School. So it's not only important to build systems that scale, but you need to structure both your code and your people's, the organization efficiently in order to get the best output from both of them. I met Pushpak earlier this year when he was in New York, and I got introduced to AlgoBulls. I took a peek, and from time to time I do go back and take a look at the API. What I see that Pushpak has built with AlgoBulls is very, very impressive. I mean, I wish I had access to something like this, the Python build platform, when I was in IIT. And I'm glad that all of you are getting a head start via this Quant Quest event. In the next few minutes, I'll share a few thoughts from my experience that may be useful to you in this upcoming contest. And if some of you choose to take up algo trading as a career, it should help you later as well. My own personal journey with algo trading was started with my thesis during undergrad days. It was in theoretical computer science. And I did a lot of theory research, was part of some publications as well. And then I realized that even though it was great to solve these theoretical problems, my personal interest was in practical application of the knowledge that I was gaining. So in a way, that the experience with TCS, as we call theoretical computer science, actually pushed me to a more practical approach. And when I saw that Tower Research was doing campus placements, I was really excited. And fortunately, I got in, and that gave me exactly what I wanted, applying my computer science skills to design bots that trade in the financial markets. Now, if you are someone who enjoys practical application more than working on hard theoretical problems, and I'm not just talking about just algorithms or prediction or ML. As you go deeper into algorithmic trading, especially high frequency trading, you could be using your entire undergrad skill set, from computer architecture to data structures to algo design, compilers, and even computer networking. I mean, there are times when we were optimizing the length of the fiber cable, taking it down from 2 meters to 1.5 meters, just so that we are faster than our competitors. And there were other times when we would replace network path from fiber to microwave, so that again we get that speed advantage, because when light travels through the optical fiber, it keeps bouncing off of the surface, whereas when information travels over microwave, it goes in a straight line. So we were optimizing things to that level in the world of high frequency trading. And another cool feature with algo trading is that you'll see that how by changing a very like few lines of code, 10 to 20 lines of code, or by, as I just mentioned, replacing a fiber optic cable network with a microwave network, could make a significant difference to the profitability of your algorithms or your strategies. And by significant, I mean hundreds of thousands of dollars per day, or over a year, a couple of million. Now, I briefly mentioned HFT, high frequency trading, but within algo trading, there are different flavors based on the holding times primarily. Holding time meaning how long you hold on to a position in a financial instrument. So in high frequency trading, the holding period is typically very short, few milliseconds to a few minutes. And medium frequency, the holding times range from few minutes to few hours and up to a day. And in low frequency, the holding times are even longer. And as I hinted earlier, in high frequency trading, the focus, since you're optimizing at a very granular, at a millisecond and these days even nanosecond level, a deep understanding of various aspects of computer science is extremely important. Whereas as you go to medium frequency and low frequency, data science and your machine learning and your idea generation skills take precedence. Across the board, whether it's high to or medium or low, you still need your data science skills, but core computer science is extremely important for high frequency trading. The medium frequency trading generally does not take account of market microstructure, and the consideration for market impact is significantly lower when compared to HFT. And HFT, as I mentioned, is also very latency sensitive. MFT and LFT are not so much. In order to prep, of course, you need good programming skills. Typically it's either Python or CPP, especially in the HFT world. And in addition, you need to have taken classes in stats, AI, ML, or at least have a good understanding of basic prediction models and their nuances. Various areas of focus within algo trading are, signal or building a prediction engine, having a very good automated execution setup, simulation or backtesting, post-trade analysis, and so on. And depending on the trading horizon, whether it's high, medium, or low, each of these areas require different levels of application. However, one thing I highly recommend is to make sure that your design, your algo design, is as modular as possible, and that your code is as reusable as possible. I mean, no copy pasting pieces of code. I mean, I have seen teams and companies waste years of effort and hence suffer inferior revenues just by not sticking to basic computer science guidelines of having modular code and reusable code, not sticking to modular or reusable designs. As you're about to plunge into this contest, a few words about backtesting or simulation focus area. The majority of profit and loss changes in an algo trading strategy happen during moves that account for less than 10% of your backtesting or sample space. And hence, it's very important to pay close attention to those few times when you see a big swing in your profits or losses, and thoroughly backtest your strategy. I think someone had mentioned a black swan event. It is a good idea to come up with a trial strategy and see where the major deviations are happening, and then zoom in and see that the strategy is performing exactly how you would like it to perform. In fact, one of my favorite steps in my day-to-day is to make incremental changes to my strategy and see what difference that does to the behavior in the output log files, and make sure that it is as expected. Now, as I mentioned, there are various focus areas and suggestions that can be given for each of them. I'll just leave the backtesting one because high frequency, medium frequency. In fact, for this context, you will be operating more in the MFT or the medium frequency space, I believe. Thank you for your attention. I hope what I shared proves to be at least slightly useful to some of you. And one of my favorite quotes is, either you win or you learn, but you never lose. So I hope each one of you tackles this contest and the challenges in your career with this growth mindset. And I wish you all the very best for this upcoming fantastic learning opportunity from AlgoBulls. Pushpak.
Thank you so much, Ravi, for your enlightening session. I hope I'm audible now.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the enlightening session, Ravi. Folks, if you have any question for Mr. Ravi, please ask right away. He's on a busy schedule. He may have only a few more minutes. So I would like to add, just take like few seconds of Mr. Ravi's time here. He mentioned a very important thing that, what types of algo trading exist, and he mentioned what something called as high frequency trading, medium frequency trading, and low frequency trading. Guys, I think that is going to be super important for you to understand as to which part, which of these three you like to pursue, or maybe all of it. For the sake of this competition, it's going to be more of medium frequency trading, but all the concepts, as rightly mentioned by Mr. Ravi, apply, especially data science apply across all three, and HFT involves a lot more of computer science as well. So that's a very important thing, which I think would be the biggest takeaway here, because especially when I started this, these differences were not very clear to me as to what types of trading exist. And when you try to read on the internet, you'll see a lot of other options. So thanks, Ravi, for very clearly mentioning it out for the students that, these are the three types. And I believe that will help them understand much better when they try to pursue further. Okay. Thank you so much, Ravi, for your time. Really insightful session. I'm sure the students would have loved it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pushpak, and all the best.
Thank you. All right, guys. We are very fortunate to have such esteemed speakers sharing their valuable knowledge and giving their valuable time. Now that you're loaded with all this knowledge from our speakers, let's get ready to move to the next session and to witness how you can use the AlgoBulls platform to create, test, and deploy your trading strategies for Quant Quest. And we'll also discuss the rules and guidelines of the competition. I have Rishabh with me, who is a product manager at AlgoBulls. He will take over this part of the presentation and he'll guide you through the next steps. Hi, Rishabh, over to you.
Thank you, Pushpak, for the introduction, and a very good evening to each and every one of you here. I hope you are enjoying the webinar and you have learned a lot from Pushpak and our amazing guests, Mr. Ravi and Hariom. So with all the knowledge and excitement that we have right now, let's dive into some details of the competition. Although these details are present on all the platforms that we have, including Unstop, Slack, and the competition site, but it's always good to go through them again, right? So our main competition starts in less than 2 hours now, which is 1st of November, and it will end on 9th of November at midnight. So we'll announce the results of the winner on 14th of November 2023. And I know it's a gap of 4 days, but of course we don't want to hijack your Diwali. So since we are clear on the timeline now, the very most important part is what the winners are getting, right? So we have a prize pool of up to 1,20,000 for the winner. about 60,000 for the first runner-up and up to 30,000 for the second runner-up, with of course internship opportunities. Right. So this is something that every participant and every team should aim for. And with that, we need to set some ground rules for the competition, which is the most important part of any competition. So I hope everyone has started joining. So all the participants can join the competition solo or in a team of maximum 3 members. Participants shall use the dedicated AlgoBulls platform for the entire competition. So if you are on Unstop, you'll register from there and you will lead to the competitions.algobulls.com, which is where you have to register your account. So during registration, it is very important to note that you need to enter your name in the following format, which is name dash team name dash organizing institute name. So for example, if your name is Aman Verma, you're from Team Rising Raider, and your hosting institute is IIT Kanpur, just have your name in the format like Aman Verma dash Rising Raider dash IIT Kanpur. So this will help us to analyze and filter you out from other participants, and we'll make the leaderboard properly. In case you fail to keep your name in this format, all the executions that you do will not be considered for the leaderboard. So it is very important to note that. So, and another point, that in case you fail, you can always try and edit your name. So there's an option to edit your name and make it correct. So make sure to do that. Once you register on the platform, each participant will have our Quant Quest Advanced Developer Plan activated in their portal. So all the registered participants can use this plan to learn about the platform before the competition. Like, you can start from right away. It's not like you need to wait until 12, and you can then continue with the competition after the start of the competition. You have to create your strategies using GenAI, or you can code from scratch also. But alternatively, you have the option to choose your strategy from our pool of ready templates. You'll be creating your strategies for Indian markets in the equity or FNO segments, and for the US markets in the equity segments. Each of you will be given a virtual fund of rupees 100 crores for the Indian market and 1 billion for the US market. And for every execution that you do, your funds will be refreshed, and you will have full 100 crores and 1 billion at the start of your execution. Right? You have to get creative by using any candle, quantity, stock, or strategy parameters and maximize the returns of your virtual funds. The most important point here is that you have to backtest your strategy from 1st of January to 30th of June. There are no other dates that you can use. So make sure to keep 1st of January and 30th of June as your backtesting dates. You can choose any of the lots that you want, but the date should match. The team with the highest gross ROI in a single run shall be crowned the champion of the competition. So make sure that the most highlighted word here is single run. Since gross ROI is a cumulative parameter, and we won't be considering if you have multiple runs there. So you have the option to reset your gross ROI from the settings tab. Once you do it, you can just rerun your strategy and get the highest gross ROI for that strategy. For comparison of the ROI in different markets, we'll be using the gross ROI in the absolute sense without considering the exchange rates. For example, if your gross ROI is rupees 1 crore, it'll be higher than gross ROI of rupees $9 million. And accordingly, it'll be higher than gross ROI of 50 lakhs. So the rule is to ignore the currency and compare the numbers in their absolute sense. In case of a tie, the team with the best average hit ratio for that strategy shall be placed at the winning position. And most importantly, any kind of hard coding for your strategy is not permitted, be it hard coding for your date or quantity or any other things. So this will clearly lead to rejection of the strategy run, And continuous use of such hard-coded strategies will lead to disqualification of the participants from the competition. So I hope everyone is clear on the rules. And in case you're not, please feel free to ask your doubts at the end of the webinar. And alternatively, you can also ask your questions on the Slack community. So with everything set, let's get down to business and check out the platform that you'll use to reach your trading potential. I'll quickly move on to the platform here. Pushpak, can you just confirm that my screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, it is. We can see the slides.
Okay.
So guys, now we'll give you a demo of how to use the platform. This will be your first, you can say, guidance on how you can use the platform to create strategies and get into the competition. As Rishabh mentioned, don't worry if you find certain things which are not comprehensible at the moment because it's your first time. You will get a lot of help on the Slack community. We'll talk about it later. Just keep an open mind and go through it and try to grasp as much as you can without having to worry that can you get the resources later or not. You absolutely can. Over to you, Rishabh.
Okay. So now that we have the registration done on the AlgoBulls platform, you'll once you log into the platform, you will end up on your splash screen. This is the splash screen that we have. So we've got 5 options here, which is basically create using AI, explore our ready templates, professional support, code from scratch, and my coded strategies. So 3 of them are basically methods for creating your strategy. One of it is to check your safe strategy, which is my coded strategy. And the last one is professional support, which we usually have when we encounter any errors or if we want to create a personalized strategy from our experts. So for this competition, we'll not be using the professional support unless we are asked to. We'll be focusing on only the 3 of these, which is create using AI, explore ready templates, and code from scratch. So I'll be starting with explore ready templates. Once you click on explore ready templates, you'll be redirected to the list of our ready templates that we have. We have templates based on our Indian markets as well as the US market. So for this demonstration, let's choose this volatility trend ATR. Once you open it, you can see that we have a code editor here and we have the entire code written here since the strategy is already prepared from our experts. The process for the code editor is that once you have created your code or modified it, you need to save your strategy, right? Once you save your strategy, you get to choose that you want to continue or stay here. So before continuing, I'll just explain further what we have here. So for the entire thing, you see a set of dummy data that you have. This is the analytics section where we basically find all the metas, the information that you need for analyzing your strategy. You have the total returns, which is actually this part that we are going to consider for the choosing of winners. So once you execute your strategy, this is the part where you need to come to analyze the strategy. You can check your profit and losses. You can check end of the year returns, your distribution of monthly returns, and eventually you can make changes to your strategy and optimize it for better performance. I'll quickly make the changes here and show you how you can proceed so you can know the step-by-step process. So I'll save this strategy. I'll click continue here. Once you save this strategy, this will automatically be sent to your my coded strategies section. You'll have the save and start button activated and all the dummy data will vanish from here because now you own this strategy. So once you have modified your entire code, this code is in your my coded strategies. You just have to save this again in case you have made any changes. You save the strategy, you go to tweak strategy, which is basically your parameter section that you need to set before executing any of the strategies that you choose or create. For ready templates, all the parameters are mostly set. In case you are coding it from scratch, you need to know what parameters you have to set. You save these parameters and eventually you move forward to executing your strategy. For executing your strategy, you will be saving and starting. So when you click the save and start button, this is the execute modal that we have. For this competition, we don't want to use the paper trading section. We are only be focusing on back testing. You will have your virtual funds here, which would be 100 crore rupees or $1 billion. Once you come to the execute modal, you'll have to customize for your back testing date. So for back testing date, you can always choose from the calendar that opens, and your back testing date should be 1st of January 2023 to 30th of June 2023, right? You can choose any lot size that you want, and then eventually you can execute your strategy, right? So for execution, it'll take some time. So what you'll get after execution is what I'll show you right now. So this is the sample data, but this is what you'll actually see when you execute your strategy. You'll see all the analytics, and while your execution is in progress, you get your data and your logs will keep on updating. The timeline will be active even while execution. Your P&L table would be refreshed while execution. And once your execution is completed, all your logs, all your timeline, your P&L data, and your analytics would be completed for analyzing how your strategy has performed. In case you want to improve the strategy and the parameters, just analyze it and see what changes you can make to your code and rerun your strategy. But before rerunning, I'll suggest you to clean up your previous trades. And to clean up your previous trades, you'll have to come to the settings section. Since this is a ready template, you won't have this option. The option that you'll see for cleaning up your trade is in my coded strategies. Once you open my coded strategies, you'll have this option for delete all. You can clear all your trades from this section and then rerun your strategy for a better execution and a better gross ROI. So this is all for ready templates. The second way that you can create your strategy is to create using AI. So once you choose this create using AI, you'll come down to this section where we have this screen for creating your prompts. You can choose from our already prompt library, or you can write your own prompts in plain English. It doesn't matter what you do. So for creating using AI, the most important part is to basically have your own API key, which is the OpenAI API key. In case you don't have the API key, we have given a step-by-step process here to generate the key. Once you generate your key from OpenAI website, you can copy paste that OpenAI key and place it here. You can choose your GPT model that you want to use, and then you can eventually save it for execution. Once everything is ready, you can choose a prompt or write your own prompt. Now, the most important thing to keep in mind here is that if you are on a free plan, the time for strategy generation and your code generation will be a bit longer since it's a free plan. So you'll have to have some patience there. You give some time and it will generate proper code for the strategy that you want. So if I run this prompt, this is what exactly I'll get. This is the entire code that needs to be generated from that prompt. So once generation is done, you'll have this code as well as the parameters needed for this prompt. Okay. So now you have two options here. You can either create a new strategy with this code, or you can copy this code or rewrite your prompts to make it better. So to save time and to show what needs to be done further, I'll just create a new strategy here and show you how it proceeds. So once you have created a new strategy, you have the codes placed here. And this is exactly how ready templates were made. You have this screen all over again. So you can save it, but make sure to save it with a proper name. You can edit your name here and you can give any name that you want. So this is the name that will appear in your My Code is Strategy section, right? You can follow the entire process again. You can save it. You can make changes to your parameters and then you can execute it. Now the third option that we have for strategy creation is our code from scratch section. So code from scratch is basically what we would prefer you to do because it's a more advanced thing and we want each and every participant to be at that level where they don't have to rely on prompts or templates. This is something that we want every participant to learn from this competition and from all the documentation that we have. So when you choose this section, you'll get a blank code editor. You'll have nothing here in terms of anything. So you'll see these resources. You can always go and check these resources here. Also, we have provided you with certain links where we have shared with you the documentation site link. And this is the documentation site that we have, the algobulls.github.io/py-algotrading. So to know anything about a strategy creation or to code from scratch, you can read the documentation here and try it on your own. And to explain more about it, I'll request Pushpak to talk to you and explain more of everything about creating from scratch. So Pushpak, can you please take over and explain, guys?
Yes, thanks, Rishabh. So guys, I'll just quickly give an overview. Rishabh has wonderfully explained all other features to us. Uh, I'll just share my screen. Or since Rishabh, we have your screen, can you just switch to the website, the documentation website?
Documentation website, huh?
Yeah, algobulls.github.io/algotrading.
Okay, I'm already on it.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Let me know if
Yes,
my screen is visible.
sure.
I hope my screen is visible now.
Not yet.
Okay. Okay, I'll hold. Okay, guys. Is it visible now, by any chance?
No.
Okay, no worries. Rishabh, can you just open algobulls.github.io? I'll quickly explain the focus. So, guys,
Yes.
basically algobulls.github.io/algotrading, the link which I've already shared in the chat box, right? It has all the information here. So, in case you have not followed anything, don't worry. Everything is available there. We have got documentation for all the ready templates out there on the left. And if you go to any ready template, so it's within the section called as strategies. Within that, there are multiple sections for regular strategies, option strategies. You go to any strategy, there are full-fledged ready code available for you. You can go inside, go through the resources. They'll explain everything step by step. It also gives you the code. It explains you every single line of the code. You can use it to understand how the strategies are coded, and then you can also use it to create your own strategy. So as Rishabh was mentioning, of course, you guys can use the ready templates, but we would be avoiding some side prices as well to folks who are creating their own algorithms from scratch, even if they are, let's say, not the best ones out there with the highest ROIs. That's fine. We will be avoiding some side prices. So do try your hands on there. Don't worry if it seems overwhelming. We'll conduct a poll on the Slack community tomorrow, and maybe we can have a demo session on how to code from scratch if people are interested. Uh, so yeah, that's on it. I'll not go into much details. There is one advanced thing here. In case there are any Jupyter notebook enthusiasts, then there is a way you can create and backtest your algorithm completely from Jupyter notebooks. You don't have to come on the website. Again, it's for advanced users. So if you don't know Jupyter notebooks, that's absolutely fine. But in case somebody knows it, and people who know it usually love it, feel free to go to our doc site or ask on the community. We'll tell you how you can do the entire thing from the Jupyter notebook. Okay. So guys, I think that's a good start for you guys to understand how to get started with the competition. Finally, I would just like to talk to you about the Algo Trading Ninja Slack community. So I want to introduce you to this exciting opportunity to continue your learning journey. Our commitment to your growth in algorithmic trading extends beyond Conquest. It's not just till Conquest. And that's why I'm thrilled to announce to you the Algo Trading Ninja Slack community. We have shared the link on Unstop. We can share it again on chat. This community is where you can connect with like-minded individuals, share your experiences, you can expand your knowledge. Uh, if you're an expert or just a beginner, uh, you'll find all types of people there. You'll find the right input for you. We have created dedicated channels for various aspects of algo trading, and we offer you wealth of support, resources, and networking opportunities. This is absolutely free. It's a community. There is no cost or anything associated with it. And also for this event, all the updates which we have will be posted on a dedicated Slack channel, which is for IIT Kanpur guys. Everybody on this call and your friends who would be participating in the competition, please sign up for the Slack community and join the channel. The link is available on the Unstop site. Please don't miss that because you'll get all updates there. Plus, we'll conduct some polls and we'll ask some questions in case you guys need any other help as we go ahead. So this brings us to the end of our pre-event webinar. I want to once again thank our esteemed speakers for sharing their valuable insights. And I want to thank Rishabh, our product manager, for the brilliant platform demonstration. Guys, your journey has just only begun. We're excited to have you on board. Remember, this is a continuous process and the algorithmic trading world is ever evolving. So the journey you have embarked upon today is an exciting one, filled with opportunities and discoveries. We look forward to your active participation in Quant Quest and the Algo Trading Ninjas. Good luck to everyone, and thank you so much for finding out time for the pre-event webinar. If there are any questions from anybody, we can take questions now. Okay, guys, we'll wait for a minute more. In case anybody has any questions, we're happy to take. Okay, so there is one question from Dishant. Will we be provided with the OpenAI API key? So Dishant, you can create your own OpenAI API key. The steps are given on the website. Once you go to the website and choose the option to create using AI, it will give you complete steps on how you can create using uh, the OpenAI website. Okay, you have to go there. This key is there. So what Rishabh was mentioning about the free key or the paid key, it's completely an OpenAI thing. For you guys, you have the platform completely free for the sake of this competition. So there is no cost or charge anywhere involved here. It's only with the OpenAI key. Uh, there is no necessity as such for you to buy a paid key. You can go with a free key. The only thing is it takes a bit more time. Like some requests can take up to 30 to 60 seconds for the answers to come when you search for like some kind of a algo trading strategy. But that is still really good because if you try to code on your own, it will take you hours, if not lesser. So 30 to 60 seconds is not a big deal, but yeah, I mean that's a really good deal you get with a free OpenAI key. So Drishan, do try it out by going to the site. If you face any issue, please post on Slack and we'll help you with that. Also, do check out our doc site. It has a section on generative AI. It gives everything step by step. So I'm just sharing a link on the chat box on how to create your OpenAI API keys. Okay, I guess no more questions. So guys, the competition is open. Let's get started. We'll be in touch on Slack community and we'll meet again once the competition ends and we'll be announcing the winners then. Okay, there is one more question before we leave. Okay, this one's from Yash. Yash, your question is ROI on one stock. Can you please elaborate? What do you mean by that? Okay, ROI on one stock or on any stock. See, so how ROI works is as follows. Uh, you need to create a strategy and backtest it for a period of 6 months. The 6 month duration is 1st Jan to 30th June 2023. Okay, this is a strict period. Everybody has to follow that. Okay, now within this period, whatever trades your strategy has generated, you'll get an ROI. Now coming to your question, yes, that it has to be one stock or multiple stocks. It's totally up to you. You can choose one stock or you can choose a basket of stocks. The ROI which will be considered will be total. Of course, the only thing is if you run a strategy, backtest your strategy or multiple stocks, it will be slower, which is absolutely fine. Just that you get lesser time to iterate on various combinations. But if you find a basket of stock strategy which is giving you very good returns, we will definitely consider that. I mean, the end goal is the ROI number which you get on the website, and the one with the highest ROI wins. I hope that answers your question. Also, just to add more fun here, basket of stocks will work if you do go for an equity strategy. If you're going for an option strategy, you anyways go for an index which is like Bank Nifty or Nifty, and the underlying strikes will be selected automatically. So you don't really need a basket of stocks when you go for option strategy. You just need it for the equities. Yeah, yes, absolutely. You can decide that stock. You're completely free to decide any available stock. So once you go to the config section, which Rishabh showed, you can type the stock name and you'll get that stock in the drop down. You can select the stock from the drop down and run your strategy. And that's where the beauty is, right? Yes, because you get to decide your own stock, you get to decide your own strategy parameters, and you get to decide your own strategy if you're creating from scratch. So you have got complete freedom here. There are no restrictions. You can use your creativity, your insight to decide what kind of strategy you want to create. Futures of stocks, yeah, futures are also available. But one tip here, options are the ones which are more rewarding as compared to futures. Leverage. So you're asking a question on leverage. Will it give us leverage? By leverage, do you mean the credit exposure factor, which is like a multiplier of the funds available? If that's your question, the leverage is 1, but the multiplier factor is 1. There is no higher multiplier factor because if you look at the initial capital, it's already very high. It's 100 crore rupees or $1 billion. It's very high. You don't really need leverage. And even if you have leverage, it doesn't make a difference because if you have leverage, everybody else would have a leverage, right? So leverage is it's agnostic. It's a constant thing which will be there for everybody. So don't worry, leverage doesn't make any difference. Cool, yes. I guess I have answered all your questions. Thanks, yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Don't worry, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask on the Slack community. We'll be answering there all your queries. And in case we require a demo session on how to code, we'll take a poll there. If people want a session, we'll conduct another event between the competition where we'll show you how to code your strategies from scratch. Okay. All right, guys. Take care. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye. See you next time.